Hi again. Welcome to the second episode of the Everyone Active podcast.
We're your hosts, Michelle Laurie
and Joe Hancock.
We hope you've had a great week because we certainly have.
Now, question. How many of you have actually managed to stick to your New Year's fitness plan? Or indeed, how many of you made one in the first place? I'm guessing not all of you. And that's okay. It happens to all of us. Don't beat yourself up about it.
This week, Joe and I are going to be discussing how we can make sticking to that New Year fitness plan easier, especially when it's really cold and grey outside at the beginning of the year.
That's completely right. So today we'll be discussing easy ways for you to start getting into the habit of getting active.
And also how to stop yourself giving up at the first sign of trouble.
We'll talk about specific workouts and exercises that you could maybe try to fit into that regime.
And how to make it a part of your everyday routine to fit your workout into your busy schedule, whatever that may include.
So, let's talk about us.
Go on.
We're coming back. Have you ever done this is my January, I am doing XYZ in the gym, got about 14 days in, realised that you're just not doing it.
Yeah. Have done that a few times actually. It's hard, isn't it? Especially when it's grey outside or it's really cold. Oh, it's just a struggle.
And do you also find there's quite a lot of pressure saying, go, do it, make that year.
New year, new you.
Oh. No.
Yeah,
no. So, do you know what? This year, I didn't. Do you know what I did? November, I went, right, December, January and February are going to look like this. So I was already, here's a little tip, 8 weeks into what I wanted to do when January kicked.
I agree. I don't understand why people say, I'm going to have a really big binge out in December and then on the first, I'm just going to be cold turkey on the 1st of January. I know. I don't understand.
No.
And I think that's what makes it so tough is that you got out of the habit of doing something, haven't you? Because especially in December, you'll go out, we eat too much, drink too much, have a lovely time.
Yep.
And then come January, it's like people just cut everything out, don't they? Like people go, right, that's it. No alcohol, no carbohydrates, no sugar. I'm going to eat dust and tissues.
Yes.
And they wonder why they fall off the workout regime.
But whilst eating dust and tissues, they want to work the hardest that they've worked all year.
Why is that? And then they get injured really quickly because they haven't done anything for ages. And then what do? They go and have a kebab.
Or go, it's not for me.
Not for me.
But it is for you.
It is for you.
That's why we're here.
It is for you.
That's why we're here.
I just think I think we spoke last week about the community there is in the gym and in group X classes. And for me, that kind of has always helped me keep going a little bit. I don't know about you, but it's just having those people you just go, hi to in the gym and just sort of think, okay, I know they're here. I'm going to try and come and just sort of see them and make a bit of an effort. It's really it's such a challenge, isn't it?
And that tough thing. So when we, I suppose, first went into the fitness industry, we weren't necessarily surrounded by so much publicity, options, choices, social media. Should I do this? Should I do this? Should I?
I think everyone's got an opinion, haven't they now? And it's kind of like you hear all about this thing, about going and doing all these different workouts, and then some people are fasting, and some people are going keto, and some people are going vegan, and it's overwhelming.
And I think that is a massive barrier to people being able to carry on their regime, but also a barrier to starting is the confusion of what to do, where to start, what to go.
And I think people just want to jump in with both feet, don't they? Do everything and then wonder why they're not sticking to it. Because like you said, they might get injured or they just think, I don't like it, or they feel too intimidated to go back. It's really hard getting that balance, I think.
Yeah. And do you know the thing? And if you've done it, you're amazing. Actually having the will to want to go and do it in the first place is a great thing. So now we're going to chat how they can hold on to that.
Yes. So, I mean, for me, I know when I try not to do things on the 1st of January because I think it just puts too much pressure on myself. But I've always got kind of like something in the back of my mind and I think, I've got a holiday coming up or I've got this or an event coming up. And I try and think, well, what can I do to make myself not so much look aesthetically different, but feel better in myself? Mm-hmm. So I try, and I know that for me, if I start something and I get into the habit of doing it,
yeah,
I'm much more likely to stick with it. But it's those first few times, isn't it? Those first few weeks. It's walking into that gym floor in busy January and it's packed and you're thinking, I have no clue what any of those machines do. So you wander around. I've done it before, and in my 20s, you walk around in the gym just thinking, I can't go on that. I don't know how it works.
I'm Jo, your friendly personal trainer.
Exactly.
So if I saw you doing that, huge tip, write down what you want to do. Go in there on a day that you've not set yourself to go in and train, walk around. Doesn't matter if you're walking around the gym and not training. You've done a group exercise class, spend a couple of minutes, go in. Get the layout of the gym.
That's a really key thing, isn't it?
In your head.
Because otherwise you walk in and all those little gym bunnies are in there and you're like, oh my, I've got my brand new trainers on because I've had to buy them because I wasn't doing anything. And you just feel like a fish out of water.
Have a plan. But I am just going to say, those gym bunnies, probably really welcoming because everybody's been in that position.
I agree with you, but I think some people's perception is that they can't.
Yes, it's the perception of, oh my gosh, they know everything, I don't belong in this gym.
Yeah.
Actually, you do. You do. Every single person belongs in one of our gyms. Go and enjoy it. But yeah, tip, definitely have a plan, know where the kit is.
Yeah. And also, I think if you're looking at group exercise classes, looking at that timetable is massively overwhelming. So I would say try a little bit of everything. If you can get into taster sessions, try and do that.
Nice.
And find an instructor that you like. 'Cause I think if you gel with an instructor, you'll kind of follow them to other classes and it might encourage you to do other things as well that you wouldn't possibly think of doing.
Yeah.
So probably people that come to your classes, if you were to run, for example, a plate spinning class, which I think could be a new thing, by the way. I'm going to make a note that I recommended that.
Okay.
But if you were to do plate spinning wearing a clown's outfit, people would follow you because they love you and they've bought into you.
Mish, if I have people now from Harpenden or Westminster Lodge going, Jo, come on.
Got a request in.
Here we go. Plate spinning.
I've got it on order on Amazon.
I'm going to be blaming you. Completely blaming
But
you.
I think, try little different people, different classes, and try doing things at different times of day. I think did we speak last week? I think we did about different times of day to work out. So you were saying you were a morning girl, me not so much. So again, find those times when it's going to be good for you. And quiet times in the gym might be a really good time to go and have a look at equipment and stuff as well, would you say?
Definitely. One of my biggest tips is to never compare your day one to somebody else's potentially 365th, 1000th, 14th.
Yeah, I think you're right.
You've got no idea of that person's journey. They've got no idea of your journey, and just don't compare yourself. You've rocked it. Tick in the box, your day one.
I also think the other thing to bear in mind is that whatever you're doing, even if you just manage 5 minutes walking on a treadmill, which is amazing, that's better than you sitting on the sofa.
Yeah. And the beauty, I know I've spoken about technology before now, but our Everyone Active app, so for Group X and also for the gym now, our gym teams are opening up and they're doing sessions for strength-based introduction. Yeah. They're doing cardio introduction. They're doing functional introduction. You've got skilled, qualified, really approachable teams who are literally going, you press a button on your app and you've got that 1-to-1 time, or it's 1-to-4, but that will just give you a little, it's not as intimidating. Oh, I can do this.
Yeah.
Another tip, if you don't want to go by yourself, find somebody that's going to go with you.
That's a
because
great
when
tip.
you are, look at us two, we're like, oh yeah, we do that, we do this.
Yeah.
So when you know that you've got to meet someone, or when you know that somebody else is going to go with you, you feel half obliged to make sure that you go for that other person.
Absolutely. Even when you have those days when you're not feeling it at all. And that happens especially in the beginning, doesn't it? When you're just thinking, can't do it.
Oh, done. Group exercise-wise, again, we've said we'll meet like-minded people in those classes.
Totally. And I think it's okay to stand at the back. If you don't want to go to the front, you can just melt into the background and just have a nice time on your own at the back.
Completely. Just going to say, we're still going to talk to you as instructors, regardless of where you are.
I mean, there's
in that
no
room.
hiding. Let's be honest, there is no hiding. But we're not going to pick you out and say, what do you think you're doing? Or what are you wearing? And I think, like you say, people are really welcoming, especially if they know that if they're a regular and they see you need a spin bike setting up or a body pump kit putting out, they can't wait to help you.
Definitely.
And then you make that connection and they'll say, oh, by the way, have you tried this class? This is really good. And people will recommend other things to you. And that's another great way to try other things as well.
Yeah, and that's the community on it as well. And the fact that I think it's quite a really great thing to have, that you can load up your app and you can plan your week.
Yeah.
And you can book your classes, and sometimes you can book your fortnight classes.
Yeah.
And you can see everything that's on at time that you want to go. Click that button, whether it's an introduction to the gym, whether it's your first time on a class, and done. And if you love that class, favourite it, because then it's there on your app, ready to go again, ready to book in a week.
And the app is so easy. You just click the button and you just book in, don't you? That's really, really good. And also on the app, you've got all of the on-demand stuff as well available.
Hi!
People can see us, Jo.
Hi! Did you know that, team? Did you know that actually within your app, we've also got online classes on there? So if you skim down and find EA Series, you might see us too.
Hi! I never watched myself back, I have to say, because it's just too cringy. But I know we're on there.
Yeah, we do a little, oh gosh, I did say that.
Oh dear.
But do you know what, team? If you're picking up anything, your group exercise instructors are highly approachable and you're going to have a giggle. Oh, massive tip. Find something you enjoy.
Oh, yeah.
Find something you enjoy. There's no point you going, oh my gosh, I don't want to go and do that. Because
Spin
guess
class,
what?
I'm not going to that, am I?
I'm going to get you there. But you're not. If it's not something that you enjoy,
Yeah.
where's your motivation to A, get out of bed, B, brace the cold, C, go and routine it. It's not going to. Find something you love, even if it's trying, as you said, totally different instructor, but for the same class.
Exactly. Have a
You might
massively
go and do
different
it more.
experience.
You might like fixed resistance kit and not the functional kit. Great, because you know in your plan you're going to go in and you're going to go, I like that, I'm going to get a good workout done.
And what do you think about if people are intimidated about like using some of the equipment in the gym? Can they easily get to speak to someone? They can usually, can't they, on the gym floor?
Yeah,
And that's a
definitely.
really big bonus for us
Yeah.
as well, isn't it?
Oh, hugely. I mean, you will see personal trainers working.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to do they're there, they're experts, but if they're with a client, let them stick with a client. But we've got fitness motivators, we've
Yeah,
got
they're
gym
always around,
managers.
aren't they?
And when PTs aren't with a one-to-one client, oh my gosh, they're a wealth of knowledge.
They really are. They've got all sorts of little tidbits and little nuggets of information haven't
Definitely.
they can give
and
out
I'm
to
just
people.
gonna do the hint. Personal. They're personal trainers. They understand where you've come from, where you want to get to. We've gone off, we've got our qualifications, we've got our experience.
Yeah.
We do understand.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose that's a bit of perception as well, is that people are like, oh, you work in the fitness industry, you have no idea what was going on.
Oh, I know. And I think people just think that we're invincible sometimes, don't they? Because we're in the fitness industry.
Yes. But I would say that's another, I suppose, a little journey into my fitness world is I used to loved sport at school, university, 20s, nah.
Really?
Not for me at all. Couldn't do it, didn't like it. Yeah. And then I was like, no, I want to change. And so I have done that.
You've done the full circle.
Done
That's
that
interesting.
journey.
I used to. I'm going back to the 80s when I used to be going to group exercise classes in my local village hall.
Yep.
Kind of like Jane Fonda era we're talking about, and that's where I got the bug for it. I think really from doing that. So I've always loved group X, but going to the gym has never been my thing. I kind of would prefer to do a group exercise class. In the last year, I've kind of got into the gym a little bit more.
Yay!
So now I love it and I'm happily go. But it's getting into that mindset and thinking, right, I'm going to go on these days and booking my classes or booking my gym session.
I think that's a massive important part. Mindset. So you've just said that you go, okay, I'm going to plan. So we've spoken about planning, but what's your mindset doing when you're planning? What are you thinking, doing? Are you visualising? Are you going, I'm going to...
Yeah, I kind of just visualise and think, but I'm going to do this, this and this. And I guess set myself a goal and a plan that is achievable, that I'm not going to think, right, I'm going to, lose amazing amounts of weight or do something amazing with my lifting, but something that's achievable for me.
Yeah.
And where I am now. And I think where I am now is I'm at a very different place physically, being perimenopausal, which is a joyful place to be. Let's just talk about that for a moment, ladies. But my physicality is very much different to what I was even 5 years ago. So I'm kind of having to look at my training and my nutrition in a totally different way. And I think we're going to sort of touch on those sorts of
Yes.
things in later podcasts,
Yeah,
aren't
we
we?
are.
Which is, it's interesting. So I'm just trying to get my head around I'm not a newbie, but I'm new to being how I am now, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
And I think that's another big point that people take it on board. Like, you are going to be how you're feeling on that day and that week is how you go and train. And if it's not quite as hardcore as it was the week before, it's okay. You're still there. You're still doing it.
Still there, totally. And I think we all go through different seasons in our training, don't we, as well? And I think you get that first, you've gone back in January, you've got that really big high of thinking, I'm on it, like a car bonnet. And then you get to kind of like middle of January and you're like, I need to try and keep this up. And you kind of sometimes lose your enthusiasm a little bit, don't you? So for me, I just think if I just keep thinking, well, even if I don't want to do it, I'm like, I make myself go and do it. And I know that at the minute I get in the studio or the minute I get in on that gym floor, put my tunes in or the music goes on with the class, I'm back in it.
And you're there. And we've spoken about it before, and I'm going to throw it out there again. Technology. Like if you are quite goal-driven, or if you like a statistic, or if you need another tool that's not a person, my gosh, get your MyZone belt.
MyZone belt's it's the game changer, isn't it?
It really is. And you can just, don't try and double your statistics from week, but just see where you can get to. And don't be afraid to try and safely push yourself. And
do you think, have you got into the whole MyZone community chat groups yet? Have you got into those?
Yes.
Because that, again, that's got some really good little nuggets of information in it that, again, you can pick up from people. And, it's good to hear, not good to hear, but it's encouraging to hear that other people kind of not fall off the wagon, but they have down days too.
Absolutely.
And they think, oh, goodness, I just can't face it today. And that's okay.
Yeah, and it is. And I think that's a huge thing that we all in the fitness industry, if you speak to anybody, an expert within the fitness industry, they'll all say, completely. We have down days, we have off days, we have days where we're like, oh, no. But they'll have their own little tip, or you'll have our own little key to why we get going again and how we get going again.
And I also think that, if you have one of those weekends and you just think you have a total binge weekend, you've totally gone off your nutrition plan and you have a total binge weekend. And then instead of thinking, oh, that's it now, I may as well give up. For me, I just think, okay, that was the weekend or that was yesterday. Today is a new day and you start again.
Yeah, completely. Absolutely.
Because I think it's very easy to then think, oh, I'm not going to bother. What's the point? Oh, I haven't lost any weight this week, or oh, I've not been to any classes this week. I've not been. What's the point? I'm not going to. That's it. I'm done now. Put a full stop to it.
Yeah, don't knock yourself so
much.
File
it away. Move on.
Done. Should we just do a little refresh? I feel like we've gone, whoa. Hopefully, you've got one of our tips. So we spoke about the use of technology.
Yeah.
Like find something that's going to show you physically your statistics or give you a colour. Use your technology.
Yeah.
Community. Get a gym buddy. Rely. Get friendship going.
Exactly. Someone that can keep you accountable. Make you think, oh my goodness, I can't not go today because she's relying on me to go.
Don't compare yourself to anybody else.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Don't do that. You're amazing. You're amazing.
Don't do that. And if you fall off the wagon, don't worry about it.
Exactly.
It's all good. Okay, so let's talk about, have you got a recommendation for me as a first timer? What should I go to as a workout, would you say? So group X wise, what would you say?
Ooh. Okay.
She's thrown it out there.
Do you like to do something quite lively, or would you be a bit like...
I think I'd probably like... Here's my thing.
Yep.
So, okay, I want you to prescribe me something then. I quite like a lively class. I want the time to go really quickly. I want to have a nice time and not really know that I'm working out.
Okay, Fortis. If you've got a Fortis studio, go for it. HIIT sessions.
Yeah.
There's a lot of HIIT sessions that run on a gym floor or in a studio.
No, I think the thing with HIIT sessions is people get frightened about the word HIIT, don't they? And they think, I'm not doing burpees. The key thing to remember is it's totally achievable for everyone. Whoever's teaching you will give you lots of options,
Absolutely.
Whether it's a HIIT class, a circuit class, a Fortis class. If you don't want to do high impact stuff, you can totally keep it on the down low.
It's high intensity interval training.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean
like my little
you
song
need
then
to
with high low.
Oh, thanks.
That's
or
free.
a high lie.
High lie.
See what I've done there.
She's good.
See what I've done
She's
there.
Good.
That's my class. That's my class online.
She's doing a free plug.
So I would bite size. Find a bite size.
Oh, good.
Find, if it's your first time into it, find a 30-minute, find a 45-minute. Don't put yourself under the pressure of, whoa, got to sign up for 60 minutes.
And also, I think the other thing is, when I teach even my 60-minute classes, if I've got people that are new to the class, I might say to them, right, I'll give you a little wink about track 6. If you've had enough, I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
And then they Next week they come back, maybe add on an extra track. And so after 4 or 5 sessions, they are staying for the full class. But that's okay as well for people to, if they don't want to stay for the whole class, just come for half of it.
Yeah.
And then
We need you there for the beginning, though.
Yeah, you must be there for the beginning.
We need you there.
Yeah.
We do need you there for the beginning.
Yeah, please don't come late.
No, don't do
And
that.
also, if you're new, I think the other thing I find, especially in January, is people are too scared to even say that they're new. And as an instructor, it's great for us to know that you're new because we won't single you out. Well, because we're nice, let's face it, we're nice people sometimes. But we'll just keep an eye on you and make sure you're okay. And it might just be a little
Completely.
wink or a thumbs up, but we'll communicate with you throughout the class. So let people know that you're new to classes as well.
Definitely. Fitness trends. We're going to speak about these later on as
We
well.
are.
At last, it's appeared back in the top 10 that people are recognising to find a qualified fitness instructor
know.
or personal trainer. So it's not necessarily a video that you found somewhere. In our gyms,
yeah.
on our app, are fully qualified instructors, coaches, teachers. We're all there. And the fact that we love it. We love it. And we're there and we will look out for you without going, hi, new person in the class. How are you doing over there?
Yeah.
Don't.
I think that's what people's perception is, isn't it? They think everyone in the class is going to be looking at them.
You're new.
You're new, exactly. And I'm like, really? People are so busy focusing on themselves, aren't they? But I think as a new person, you think everyone's going to be just staring at me, thinking, what's she doing?
Do you know what?
What?
Smile.
Okay.
Just be like,
Okay, thanks for that.
we got it. We got it.
How about, I found this, not so much now because my kids are older, but I used to find fitting in a workout hard with not only school times, but like after school activities and things like that. So I would say what I found was really good for me was when the kids were doing their swimming lessons, rather than sitting on poolside watching them,
Yep.
which is great, don't get me wrong, but I'd go and whack out a little bit in the gym or just go and do something quickly.
Completely, because it's a time that's diarised that you know you are going to be in
Gonna
that
be there.
centre.
Exactly.
So you're there.
Just
Ooh.
take your stuff, quickly
Yeah.
get changed.
Trainer's done,
And you're
off.
done even before they finish their lesson.
At Westminster Lodge, we've got a new EA Cycle studio,
Have you?
and it's downstairs, so people can now see the activity going on, and the amount of family swims that go on. And we do get parents, guardians, carers in. But I love the fact that we've now got little 5-year-olds looking at the glass, and I'm like, it's the next generation. This is
Totally
amazing.
It totally is. And I think also people people need to think about how they can fit it into what's going on in their life and how they can make it work for them in the sense of what's going on timetable wise and
Definitely.
dropping kids off here and being a general parent taxi and stuff, whether it's dropping them from gymnastics or whatever it may be.
And if you know you've got that busy schedule, it's really important that you do make you time.
Yeah.
You've got to put some you time in it. Nobody else is going to be looking after you.
No, I think also, like you were just saying about kids knocking on the glass and seeing in the studio, if your kids see you working out, for me, both my teenage boys, fitness and working out is just a part of their daily life because mum's always done it.
Yeah. Nice.
So they just do it and they do a whole range of activities. They obviously wouldn't be seeing Deb with me, as we've discussed before. But they do a whole range of activities, and anything for me that keeps them active and not sitting on the Xbox is a bonus.
Getting out, socialising,
And
meeting.
exactly, it's that whole interaction with people and just being part of a community. And I think that's what is nice about Everyone Active sites, is that everyone's so friendly. They're just down-to-earth people.
Definitely.
We've all got stuff going on.
Definitely.
And I think, for that half an hour or 45 minutes, you can either put your music on and just switch off on the treadmill or lifting weights, or you're in a class and whatever's going on in your life, you haven't got to think about it for that little
Completely.
little nugget of time that you've got.
Yeah. Go with
And
it.
it's just so important, isn't it, to have that?
You've planned it in. You've put in your you time.
Yeah, exactly. So do you know what I thought another really good workout to start you off with would be? Controversial, because we're talking about Group X a moment ago. Swimming.
Oh, yeah. And do you know what? It's warm.
Warm.
Yes. January, February. Warmth.
Warm swimming, nice. So we've got swimming lessons, obviously for kids, but for adults, we've got lane swimming, there's swimming lessons for adults, and have you tried Aqua Zumba or Aqua? Come on.
Are you an aqua instructor?
I'm an aqua instructor.
Am I an aqua instructor?
Come on now.
Of course we are. Yeah. So, do you know what? Actually, thinking about this, as we've said, I'm a morning workout. There are so many people at the morning.
I know.
Go in, done their swim session before work, before the school run, sometimes before the kids have woken up.
I know.
Bonus. Done.
Yeah, in and out, aren't you? Get changed quickly, back out, and it's like you say, the morning's not even done and you're absolutely finished with your workout.
Yeah.
And you can do that half an hour swimming. Aqua classes are usually half an hour, 45 minutes. And the other great thing about aqua classes or swimming is that you're under the water so people can't see you. So if you do feel a little bit self-conscious, whip off your little towel, you're in the water before you know it.
Definitely. We're going to go down that aqua line. I can tell we're there. I'm just thinking, and also your joints. It's completely low impact. You get a massive cardio workout. Low impact. You're not going to be walloping those knee joints.
Exactly. And for me, I mean, I can swim. I'm not a great swimmer, but I can hold my own. So I like the fact that we've got the slow, medium and fast lane in the pool as well. So I'll be there just chilling in the slow lane, living my best life. Do you like my swimming action?
Yeah.
You can't see this, folks, but it's amazing. Let
They
me tell
can.
you. Okay. It's amazing.
It's there.
I feel very good with it. But again, you've got the option there to not be with the amazing Olympic swimmers that are there, but you can just go at your own pace.
Yeah. Yeah, the lane swim is there. Oh, I'm feeling another little how to keep yourself motivated. Book yourself a challenge.
Oh.
Do a little triathlon.
Oh.
Do a bit of spin bike, bit of treadmill, swim in the pool.
Swimming, I like it. That's a great tip.
Find yourself a challenge, definitely. But yes, swimming. Oh, you've made me think about being warm now in
Get
winter.
splashy, that's what I say. So I think don't get caught up if you miss a few days or you feel you've fallen off the wagon, and if you're doing dry January and you've had a glass of wine or whatever. Full stop, move on. Get everything booked on your app. I think that's the main thing, isn't it? To get things booked.
Get it planned.
So that you've got something and you know you've got to go and do it.
And it's like, make yourself a priority. Do make yourself a priority. If you book something and somebody else is going, can you come and do this? Be like, no, actually, I just want to just have some me time right now.
Yeah. And yeah, exactly. And I think that's a key thing, actually, isn't it? People will say, oh, you're going to go to the gym instead of coming out with me. Well, actually, yes, because that's really important to me.
Yeah, and I love it. And I love the mates that I'm going to meet there.
Yeah.
And I'm really potentially nervous about trying a new class. But I'm going to go and do it anyway.
Exactly. Because it's never as bad as you think it's going to be, is it? And I don't know about you, but I think thinking about doing it is worse than actually doing it.
100%. 100%. Yeah.
And the amount of time you can sit scrolling through on your phone, looking at people on Instagram, looking amazing, doing workouts. By the time you scroll through that or gone on TikTok, which I get lost in, but by the time I've spent half an hour on that, I could have done a workout.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's just getting into that mindset of using your time a little bit better. And
We've just made me think of something else.
Oh,
Sorry.
go on.
Do you know what? See, we've got tips left, right and centre
coming
here.
out of the sleeves.
You've made me just go cold, phone, skim, 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 skim. We're online.
Yeah, we are online.
We are online. If you've got half an hour and you've gone, actually, the snow's here, it's too icy, I'm not getting in the car, put your trainers on, find a little area in your house, in your flat.
Yeah.
Go do it. It's there.
And all of those Everyone Active workouts that we do, so we do them live every week, don't we? But they're there forever on the Everyone Active social, so have a look at them.
Yeah.
And there's a
definitely.
whole range of things, isn't there?
Yeah. So again, if you've got any questions to us about tips, about what we want to find, about how we can help you break down a couple of barriers.
Yeah, let us know. Jo, they say all good things must come to an end. I know.
Is it that time?
That's all we've got time for, my love.
My team. Don't forget to leave us a review. Give us a star rating.
We like that.
Are we allowed 5 out of 5
I
stars?
think we are.
I think 5 out of 5 stars. On wherever you listen to your podcasts, or if you're watching us on YouTube, subscribe. And don't forget to hit those like buttons.
Like.
Yeah, we will see you again soon, team. Take care.
Bye.